Paraguay is not a highly visited country. And in fact, Paraguay is actually the 4th least visited country in South America. And the reason for that is because firstly, it's quite hard to get to. And secondly, there isn't much to do from a tourist perspective. But it is a country that is growing in popularity with digital nomads and remote workers because there are very good tax incentives in Paraguay. And also, if you're from Europe, there are direct flights from Madrid into Asuncion, in which, by the way, you can book by going to the description or the comment section of this video and clicking onto the Skyscanner link. Using my Skyscanner link, you will find the best flight prices to Asuncion. And also, Paraguay is very close to the Iguazu Falls, so there is a chance that you may find yourself in Paraguay one day. And if so, this video is for you because I'm going to give you 5 things that you need to know before you visit Paraguay. Now, the first thing that you need to know is that you are going to need to know some basic Spanish to get by. You don't have to be a conversational Spanish speaker, but you do need to know some basics such as food items, ordering food, ordering drinks, saying thank you, hello, goodbye, asking for the toilet, asking for the bill. These things you do need to know. Basically, anywhere you go in South America, you could not expect people to speak English, so you do need to brush up on your Spanish. I've actually put a link in the description and also the comment section to a website where you can learn some Spanish. Do click on that link, do check them out if you do need to brush up on your Spanish. Of course, you do have apps like Duolingo too, which help out a little bit, but sometimes it is just better to get a tutor. And this website here has many excellent tutors that teach you Spanish, so I do recommend them. So now, moving on to the second thing that you do need to know before you come to Paraguay is regarding the border. Now, if you are a foreign tourist coming to Paraguay, it's likely that either you're going to be flying into Asuncion airport, or you're likely to be coming from Brazil, from Foz do Iguaçu over the Brazilian land border. Either way, what you need to know is that when you come to the border, expect some questioning as to why you're coming to Paraguay, and be ready to hand over the address of your accommodation that you're staying at. It's likely that the border guards will want the exact address of where you're staying so that they can enter into their database. That's what my border guard wanted. Now, unfortunately, I didn't know the exact address of the place I was staying at. I booked my apartment on booking.com, but I didn't actually know the proper address of it, so I had to use the border guard's Wi-Fi hotspot to get the address for him. So I would recommend that you do have the address on your phone in your notes already ready to give to the border guard rather than asking for their Wi-Fi hotspot. Now, it's highly likely, of course, that your border guard will start speaking Spanish to you as soon as you go up to them. If you can't speak Spanish, just say hablas inglés. It's likely that the border guards will be able to speak English. If not, they can get someone over who can speak English. Worst case scenario is you have to use Google Translate. Make sure you do download Spanish offline on Google Translate. It just helps out so much in Latin America. And also, of course, do be checking your visa requirements. UK citizens like me, for example, can get 90 days free in Paraguay, but your country may be different. Now then, the third thing that you need to know before you come to Paraguay is where to get your SIM cards. Now, it is of course cheaper to get physical SIM cards rather than, for example, getting eSIMs, which is very popular these days. Now, to get your physical SIM cards in Paraguay, you can go to these convenience stores called Biggie, which you'll find all throughout Asuncion. They are a chain of supermarkets you'll find in Paraguay, so you can just go there, just ask for a SIM tarjeta claro. Hopefully they'll understand what you mean. If they do not, just get out your Google Translate, and then you can buy physical SIM cards from the Claro network. However, if you are going to be landing into Asuncion Airport, I could not find anywhere in Asuncion Airport selling SIM cards. Now, if you are from Paraguay or if you know Paraguay well, do let me know in the comment section if you can actually buy SIM cards at the airport, because I could not find anywhere selling SIM cards. Now, if you don't want the hassle of trying to find a SIM card, you can go to the description or the comment section, because there is a link there to where you can get an eSIM from an eSIM website. However, they are more expensive. It is much cheaper to get a physical SIM card, but if you don't want the hassle of trying to find one and trying to find a store, you can use the link in the description to get yourself an eSIM. Now, this actually kind of links into the fourth thing that you need to know before you come to Paraguay, because if you are going to be landing into Asuncion Airport, I do recommend that you take an Uber. Now, Uber is available to use in Asuncion. You can use it to and from the airport. And if you don't have any data on your phone when you land into Asuncion Airport, don't worry, because the airport does have Wi-Fi. Uber is safe and affordable to use throughout Asuncion. It's safer than the taxis. This is how much it cost me to get from the airport to my accommodation, which is about a 6-mile 10-kilometer journey. So that does go to show that Uber is an affordable method to use to get around the city of Asuncion. If you are planning to go out to the bars, again, make sure you get an Uber to or from there. If you're planning to go to the Old Town or to the international bus terminal, again, you will need to use an Uber. Oh, and if you are coming to Asuncion, please do not stay in the Old Town because it does feel very deserted, very sketchy. You can check it out during the daytime because it is where all the historic buildings are located and where the parliament's located, but do not stay here. It's not nice to stay. Stay in this area called Via Mora. It's more modern there, it's safer, it's a bit busier, there's coffee shops, there's bars for nightlife as well. And also, if you need to get the bus down to Brazil to see the Iguazu Falls, I've circled here the location of the international bus terminal. So as you can gather, Asuncion is quite a spread out city, so Uber really is going to be your friend, so make sure you have Uber in Paraguay. And now the fifth and final thing that you need to know before you come to Paraguay is that you can pretty much use credit and debit card everywhere you go in Asuncion. If you are going to smaller cities outside of Asuncion and smaller towns and villages, then do not expect to be able to use card. But in Asuncion, you can use card virtually anywhere. Virtually every shop, restaurant, bar in Asuncion will accept card. Just make sure you do check with your accommodation, however, if they do accept card or not, because some accommodation providers may only accept cash. Now, the official currency is the Paraguayan guarani. Don't expect to be able to pay in physical US dollars unless your accommodation host will accept them. My accommodation host actually did accept US dollars, so you can always check with your accommodation to see what they would accept. But if you are going to be paying in cash in shops, restaurants and bars, you are going to be using Paraguayan guarani. Now, in terms of affordability in Paraguay, I wouldn't necessarily describe Paraguay as a dirt cheap country, but I would say it's affordable. Expect to pay around $10 to $15 per meal per person, including drinks. For example, on the last two clips, you saw me having some empanadas and a stroganoff with a beer. Altogether, that cost me about 12 British pounds, about 15 US dollars. I also went to one of these buffet restaurants in one of the shopping centres in Asuncion, and including my drink, this cost me this amount of money in guarani, which is about 10 US dollars. So the prices there are good, not dirt cheap, but I would say good prices. Now, if you do have any questions about visiting Paraguay, do let me know in the comment section. I will try my best to answer. Or if you live in Paraguay and you're from Paraguay, do let me know in the comments some of your key tips about Paraguay that tourists should bear in mind before they come. I do personally find it interesting going to these lesser visited cities and countries. So if you are looking for something a bit different, Paraguay is a place that you could check out. If you are interested as well, in the description and the comment section, there's a link to where you can do a day trip to see some Jesuit ruins in Paraguay in the south of the country. This is one of the top things to do in the entire country. So do check that out if you are interested. Now, I do hope that you have found today's video interesting, helpful and useful. If you have, remember to click the like button. It really does help out the video, and also subscribe for more travel content. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in my next video.